Please enjoy part 2 of our track day guide in preparation for your upcoming program with SDT. If you are watching this out of curiosity, a reminder, these are our upcoming dates. Our team man a control point on the main straight and use flags to communicate with the drivers. The green flag means the track is open and any hazard or problem has been passed or is no longer present. Yellow is a warning. There is danger ahead on the circuit. Slow to 60 km per hour until a green flag is passed. Red means a serious hazard exists. Slow down immediately and return at low speed, 40 km per hour, to the pit lane and await further instructions. Blue is overtaking. A faster car is about to overtake you. If necessary, move over and signal them to pass. And the checkered flag is the end of the session. Slow down, cool off your brakes by avoiding braking, and return to your pit garage. Here's a blue flag situation, warning the Toyota 86 driver that much faster cars are going to overtake them. They should move over and allow them to pass. Driver etiquette is to move to the outside of the circuit and signal where you want the overtaking car to pass you. Here's a yellow flag situation with a kangaroo on the circuit. Yellow flags have also been needed because of sheep, goannas and debris on the circuit. A red flag denotes a more serious situation that ends the session and requires drivers to slowly finish their lap and return to the pit lane, since typically the rescue vehicle needs to enter the circuit and render assistance. A black flag is used to single out one car for attention. Maybe something has been seen about your vehicle that needs closer inspection. It can also mean there's a nut loose at the steering wheel. If you get the black flag waved at you, complete your lap and come to the control point for feedback or to get bounced from the venue. Given the temperatures that fluids and brakes get to during circuit laps, fires can and do happen. Even pulling up off the circuit on dry grass can lead to a fire. So consider having a fire extinguisher securely mounted in your vehicle. A powder extinguisher needs to smother the fire and remove the air. So pull the pin and spray the powder into the engine bay or around the wheel arch without lifting the bonnet. If a race car crashes and you attempt to render assistance, look for their electric cutoff and onboard fire extinguisher systems. At all SDT events will be a vehicle designated as the rescue vehicle. It will be parked with the keys in the ignition and be loaded with medical kits, fire extinguishers and tow ropes. If it enters the circuit during your session, it will likely be a red flag situation. The speed limit anywhere off the circuit is 40 km per hour. When your group is called, report to pit lane. Your helmet should be on and tight. An official will direct you when to go. Close your windows before entering the circuit. Because a seatbelt and even a racing harness offers limited lateral protection, you should have your windows closed whenever possible. If fogging or you need cool air, a maximum gap of 3 inches is permissible. In a race car, invest in a window net to keep your body inside the vehicle. When signalled, you can head down pit lane and enter the circuit. The pit lane speed limit is 40 km per hour. The pit exit has been modified to allow cars entering the circuit to see cars on the front straight. Since your speed is slow, be sure to check for fast cars as you merge onto the circuit. Cars should not bunch up and start racing each other. Our days are not head-to-head race events, and no one wants another car in their door. If you find the pace too quick, change groups or let the faster car pass you and find some open track. At no time should you be driving through a wall of traffic cones. These denote that section of the circuit is closed. Driving is only permitted on the open track at all times. At Morgan Park, this is not a suitable part of the circuit for overtaking, especially on the driver's side, since if the car runs wide, it could take you out at high speed. Wait until after the bridge downhill into Gumtree Corner, ideally only after the car in front signals you to pass. Into the flip-flop is also not a safe overtaking position. Wait until the front straight to clear a slower car. After 6 to 10 laps, depending on the layout, you'll get a checkered flag, and this means you should return to the pits. As much as possible, you should coast around the circuit and avoid using your brakes. You are trying to air cool your brakes. Pit entry is at the northern end of the front straight. If you miss the pit entry, don't reverse. You'll need to complete another full cool-down lap.
Even then, when pulling up back in the pits, the driver leaves the engine running and doesn't apply the handbrake in case it melts on.
In all sports, there are coaches who are called upon to improve techniques and mentor future champions. Motorsport is no different. Coaching happens at all levels. For rookies, it's all about techniques. For experienced competitors, it's more about attitude and mental visualization. SDT Sports Driver Training offers coaching at our track days. Make sure you tell our coaches what you want to achieve. They are there to listen, observe and help you. If nothing else, they might tell you you're doing it all very well.
Okay, what do you want to do today?
I just want to be able to drive with a bit more confidence. I've been on the track 3 times now, and I found it quite a scary experience, to be honest with you, when you've got other people flying up behind you. I just want to have a go with the car. I don't want to do killer lap times. I just want to
have some fun.
Have a bit of fun, really. And most importantly, take my beautiful car.
Okay.
The first track coaching you ever receive gives you 75% of the knowledge. Then it gets harder to chip away at the small improvements and gains you can make. If the driving coach is in car with you, you shouldn't try and set your personal best. After all, you'll have his weight slowing you down. Instead, you should drive at 80% and listen to the tips being provided. If our instructors are on track in our cars, they might follow you for a lap and watch your lines and braking points. They will have their lights off, meaning they don't want to pass you. We also have an extensive library of books on performance driving. If it interests you, we can loan you these titles. After all, we've read them all cover to cover many times. Realise that different cars have different capabilities. You might catch someone in the bends, but then find they pull away from you on the straights. Remember, the car ahead brakes before you and accelerates before you. As you turn into the corner, you should still be braking, and you trail off the brake and transfer to the accelerator. From the clipping point, you can begin squeezing on power as the wheels straighten. In automatics, and even occasionally in manuals when no gear change is needed, left foot braking can help to settle the car, and it reduces transition time between the brake and accelerator. As you approach the flip-flop section, you brake and change down and hold the same gear until the front straight. So this is a section where you can use your left foot to brush the brake when needed. The last turn onto the straight is slow and therefore critical for your top speed. Putting your left tyres into the pit entry is a common trick to open the corner up and increase speed. While lapping, you can't review your telemetry and lap times, so use fixed points to gauge any improvements. The bridge at Morgan Park is a good reference point. Whatever change you made has resulted in a faster speed under the bridge, so it's a good change. There is a hidden straight at Morgan Park. In some cars, driving out a Gumtree and staying straight for longer improves top speed, compared with staying near the left edge and prolonging turn 5. When braking to a stop, a car loses half of its speed in the last quarter of the distance needed. So deceleration peaks in the last few metres of a stop. In very slow speed corners, if you brake half a second too long, you lose a lot of speed. In high speed corners, if you brake for half a second extra, very little speed is lost. Across the day, keep hydrated, and at lunch avoid foods that increase fatigue and take energy to digest. Because you will do a lot of high speed laps at our track days, be aware of fatigue late in the day and on your way home. If you live in Brisbane or on the Gold Coast, consider staying the night in Warwick or Boonah, the night before or the night after the event. We don't offer timing or transponders, as to do so changes the nature of the day from training to racing, and this has insurance ramifications for all attendees. But we can't stop you timing yourself. Many vehicles have onboard timing systems and track maps. And there are many phone-based apps and units that measure your lap times via GPS. Whilst we all boast about the fastest lap we ever did, endurance drivers aim for consistency and regularity. So be proud of stringing identical lap times together, one after another. Morgan Park Raceway has many configurations. Since it's a test and tune day, not a motorsport event, we have the freedom to use any of the circuits. Typically we start with Circuit D and use this as a warm-up and an opportunity for drivers to test their vehicle and get their eye in. It also allows us to do some coaching at lower speeds. Then we change to Circuit E and run this for the remainder of the morning. The following video shows you a lap of this circuit. We're on the front straight, there's our flag position, check for any signals, 50 metres from turn 1. Onto the brakes, set the vehicle up, accelerate again, out to the outside of the track, pick up some brake, resist the urge to turn in too early, which I've done there, out to the edge. Now you want to move to the right-hand edge of the track there, kiss almost the grass, turning in about where the bridge crosses over the wall is your clipping point. Now this is just a medium speed demonstration lap so I can fit the whole commentary in. 100 metre coming up, 50 metre coming up, Gumtree Corner. Onto brakes, transitioning towards the accelerator, clipping near the end of the ripple strip on the right, end of the ripple strip on the left. There's a hidden straight in here. You can drive straight to the right hand edge and then limit the amount of time you're turning for turn 5. I could have done better there. This is Siberia Corner, no reference for when to brake. It's a little bit of negative camber, it tightens up. A lot of people go in too hot into this corner and lose a lot of time. Of all of our track days, quite a few crashes have happened here where vehicles have ended up close to or in that tyre wall. Thankfully no one hurt. Vehicle coming up fast behind me, so I'm just going to let it clear here while I'm doing this commentary. Notice the wall of cones in front, don't drive through them. On Circuit E we're turning in through the flip-flop here, tyres up near the edges. Want to come and hug the right-hand edge, set yourself up for the turn in here. There's pit entry. If you're going into the pits, that's where you'd go. Clipping in there, out to the outside of the track, and we're back on the front straight. That's one lap of Circuit E. After the lunch and refueling break, we change to Circuit K, but install a chicane on the main straight to reduce turn 1 speeds. Note the traffic cones have been moved and we're not turning through the flip-flop. This is Circuit Configuration K, setting the vehicle up against the left edge of the track. This is just a medium speed demonstration so we can fit the commentary in. You should be hitting the end of the ripple strip on the right, using all the track out to the left. 100 metre marker coming, 50 metre. Because of the positive camber and climb into the hill, you can pick up accelerator early by now and be accelerating through this corner, climbing the hill. Turn 11 and 12 often lead to some spins, so people come up here, set the vehicle up with a bit of brake, turn in, transition to accelerator just as they turn back, and the vehicle, especially one tightly sprung, likes to spin. Now for customer safety, we limit speed on the front straight by putting a chicane in here. So you're going to need to brake and turn away from the wall and then turn back. And that's to limit your speed into turn 1. Check the flag marshal point for any signals. 50 metre marker coming up. Set the vehicle up with a bit of brake. Turn in, accelerate again, all the way out to the left edge. That's a better line here, later apex. Picking up accelerator, climbing the hill. Could go all the way out to the right-hand edge of the track and then clipping where the bridge crosses the wall or close to. Using all of the track here. See the 100 metre marker ahead, 50 metre marker for Gumtree Corner, shadow across the track. Onto the brake, we want to kiss the end of the ripple strip on the right. Out to the end of the ripple strip on the left, should be accelerating well by now. Hidden straight here, keep the vehicle as straight as you can for longer, limiting the amount of turn for turn 5. Siberia Corner, negative camber as said. Better apex point there, picking up throttle, accelerating out of here. Like to brake early for this corner by now, already turned and accelerating out of that corner. And so this is one lap of Circuit K. We're not going back to the right through the flip-flop, continuing on. On the full circuit, turns 11 and 12 catch many drivers out. They brake into 11, let off the brake too suddenly, and then apply the accelerator before 12, and the weight transfer leads to the vehicle spinning off the circuit. The right to left steering overlaps with the transition from brake to accelerator. If you are nervous at the limit of grip, maybe you need to undertake skid pan training. to gain confidence and improve your control of a car when it breaks traction. This is a must-do if you have a powerful car or drive in snow and ice. The skid pan is very addictive, low cost, and doesn't put much wear on your tyres. Vehicles must be registered or have a legal trade plate fitted and cannot be too loud. We can also supply a car for you or your friend to use. Our attendance fee is $165 in your own car or $209 using our cars. Unlike other training schools, we limit numbers to 12 drivers maximum and allow people to buy 2 spots to double their driving. For something completely different, we run four-wheel drive off-road training and have a new online four-wheel drive theory course that covers all the essential techniques for off-road driving and vehicle recovery. We can supply the four-wheel drive vehicles and also can host corporate groups for team building days and Christmas parties. If you have a young driver in your life, we have developed a series of free How to Teach Your Children to Drive videos. We have also created a revolutionary new online e-learning defensive driving course that covers so many things the driver licensing system doesn't get a chance to cover. If your car is suited to use on unsealed roads, we recommend the Ipswich and Westmorton Auto Club and their dirt circuit at Willowbank. Look out for their regular club events. The Holden Sporting Car Club of Queensland run Motorcana events where you race your car around marked courses against the clock. These events also build driving skills and mental visualization. With new driving facilities proposed, SDT might again start conducting performance driving days and other sprint-type events for car enthusiasts. This track day guide surely demonstrates our professionalism and desire to help our attendees to get the most from their day. SDT has a long association with motorsport, with Graham Nielsen co-founding the company in 1995. Graham raced in speedway, rally and many categories of circuit racing, plus organised motorsport events and managed race teams. Over our 25 years in business, many leading racing drivers have worked for SDT as driving instructors. SDT has been involved in training for celebrity drivers for the Adelaide Formula 1 GP and Gold Coast IndyCar events. Although now closed, SDT ran super drift training for many years with programs conducted across Australia and even in Japan. SDT teaches stunt driving and our instructors have been involved with events and filming that require stunts to be performed. In an increasingly hostile world, SDT offers close personal protection, tactical and surveillance driver training. SDT has the equipment and know-how to perform R&D testing for vehicles, tyres and suspension analysis. SDT also designs driver training centres as standalone venues or as part of motorsport precincts. Contact SDT for more information on our driving programs and be sure to follow us on Facebook.